Travel and exploration are most likely the gameplay of Genshin Impact you will spend the majority of your time doing. At times, it can be quite tedious, but luckily, after many years, Genshin Impact now has dozens of characters that offer boost to how fast you can travel the gigantic world of Genshin. In this video, I will go over some of the best characters that will save you hours when traveling and exploring and show you exactly how they work so that you can decide if you want to pull for them or not. First, we have Venti. Venti is one of the original characters that has been known for being one of the best travel characters in the game because he was one of the only one that had travel abilities. Now, his obvious strength is the fact that he can summon this wind tunnel, which allows him to fly up and reach a lot of Geoculus, Anuoculus, Dendroculus, and all of the different types all around the map when you are trying to collect them. And it will also allow you to travel further distance by gaining a lot of ground upwards. He can be used in puzzles, in dungeons, and in the open world, and simply is an excellent character. One thing about Venti though is that he was known as one of the best traveler because there was not many other choices, but nowadays there have been a lot of new characters implemented that can do the same thing as him, sometimes better, but in any case, Venti is still a very solid companion to travel the world with and will make a lot of your life much easier. Lastly, Venti also offers a passive talent that decreases the stamina consumption for gliding, which will allow you to travel greater distances. Next, we have the Traveler, specifically the Geo Traveler. The Geo Traveler has a very unique ability where he can decide where to summon a massive block of Geo and then can climb on it from the sides and can stand on the top. So the thing about this thing is that it can be summoned in very weird places at time. So it will allow you to climb up trees, climb up mountains, and sometimes regain your stamina if you're climbing in too weird places. But as you can see right here, you can also chain them, and if you're better at jumping than me, you can climb them and basically create a stairway to heaven. Now obviously this won't work everywhere, and it is a bit of a collision weird glitch, I would say. And these blocks obviously do despawn eventually, so it is something that you kind of have to do, with practice. But as you can see, the potential for this to allow you climbing in places where you otherwise couldn't climb is fairly much unmatched. Zhongli and Albedo have something similar, but I don't think anything as good as this because the fact that you can decide where to put it makes it very, very unique and much more powerful than anyone realizes. The Geo Traveler is also very easy to obtain as you can unlock him as soon as you reach Liyue and talk to a statue of the Seven, and allows you for a lot of ease to puzzles, especially when combined, for example, with a hero like Venti, who allows to go up on top of his blocks of Geo, which makes it even easier to reach certain areas. Now, next on our list, we have Kirara. Now, Kirara is obtainable on the current banners and is a 4-star character, so a very easy character to obtain. Now, the very unique thing is if you hold her skill, she becomes a delivery box. And what is amazing about it is, first, it doesn't consume any stamina, but you can also climb with it. And the speed at which you are climbing and running is equivalent to basically permanently sprinting and permanently jumping. So you can definitely chain up very high mountains with a very easy skill on Kirara. As you can see how easy it is for me to go up, down, sideways, and you are not consuming any stamina while you're doing this. And then you can continue using your stamina once the spell ends, and it has a pretty short cooldown for how long the duration is. So it is a very, very amazing and powerful skill. There is very few characters that go this fast for this long, but also one of the only characters in the game that has a climbing to her skill, which kind of climbs for you at very, very fast speed. So all in all, Kirara is a character that if you love traveling and you love climbing, it is going to make your life so much easier. It is hard to go without. I would recommend you put her in your team if you have her and you are interested in going much faster, whether it is on ground or it is climbing when you're going for new waypoints and stuff like that. This will help you greatly in all types of puzzle in the game, as well as simply having much faster movement speed when going around the map, as it is a permanent sprint that consumes no stamina there as well. Next on our list, we have Scaramouche, or the Wanderer, one of the best, if not actually the best character for traveling in Genshin Impact. His ability is unmatched by any other character for how much it allows you to skip so much of the hardships of traveling, climbing, puzzles. his skill will allow you to fly for a very decent amount of time. As you can see on the blue bar here, it has its own stamina bar. You can also go upwards, which is unparalleled in terms of exploration, as gaining altitude, even though if it is slow, it is absolutely incredible. And in certain maps like dungeons and stuff where the area is much smaller and there's a lot of puzzles and like things are hidden behind walls, this will allow you to navigate these so much easier than any other characters in the game. The cooldown on his ability is also only 6 seconds. Another thing that's great about Scaramouche is that he is also a very solid DPS character. So building him and having him in your team for traveling purposes is amazing, but he can also defend himself and destroy most of the monsters that are in the open world. Next in our list of incredibly fast character is Yelan. She is the fastest character on ground in the game. As you can see, the amount of speed that she gains when she holds her skill is unparalleled. She is simply sprinting faster than any other characters in the game. And then you have almost no cooldown at all on this ability. It is absolutely incredible. And also noting the fact that at Constellation 1, she gives 2 charges for her skill. So with 2 charges, you can basically just go one after the other and then just use your normal sprint in between, and you can travel ground distances faster than any other characters in the game. Now, the other thing that is incredible and makes Yelan even better is that while she is using her skill, not only does it not consume any stamina, it actually allows her to regenerate her stamina. So while you are in this skill, her stamina is regenerating, which means that after you're done, you can now sprint and shift again and sprint, and then you will have enough for your other skill, which will regen your stamina. So you can literally do this endlessly. There is no end. You will always have stamina to run, always have stamina to do climbing, and you'll always have your stamina refresh every time you use your skill, which you want to use on cooldown because it gives you so much movement speed. You feel like you're a Formula 1 driver. Another character that also does very good is Lynette, who also have a skill that does similar to Yelan, as she can sprint and do quite a lot of distance. Sadly, this one does not have multiple charges and has a much longer cooldown, but it is still a very solid alternative if you are looking for traveling very fast in any case and you do not have Yelan. This will still make a very big difference in your long travel times. Next, we have Sayu. Now, Sayu is amazing for the open world for the fact that she can collect crystal flies as they won't run away from her. But really, her ability, which makes her go into a ball, is what makes her really shine as a very, very efficient traveler. She is great to have in any party and allows you to travel incredible distances. You'll be able to travel much faster than many other characters and also look really cool doing it. Now, one of her also amazing perk is that she's a Claymore character. So combined with her very fast traveling ability, you will also be able to mine a lot of the crystals with her much faster than any other character. Next on our list is going to be Ayaka. For obvious reason, her sprint is going to be one of those abilities that transforms her into a ball of ice. And with that, you can traverse the world at a very nice and fast speed, as well as simply ignore water. Now, sadly, this does consume stamina, but the unique thing about Ayaka is because she is an ice character, she will be summoning ice behind her as she comes out of her thing, which then allows her to summon her skill and also use her auto attack and then create a more ice to basically create an ice path. And if you are low on stamina, well, it is a very easy way to recuperate stamina in the middle of the ocean. So she does offer a very, very nice way of traveling and simply just dealing with bodies of water in general, as well as being an excellent character that you can use as a DPS in your team. Now, in the same category, we have Mona, who does the same thing, except that she is a hydro character. So if she comes out in the middle of the water with no stamina, she will die. So she is much more limited in terms of what she can do than Ayaka. But the fact that her sprint is still this that makes her walk over water will still prove useful in many situations. And we all know that people who play Mona are not playing her for her combat capabilities. So having this extra movement speed does make her an even better perk of having her in your team. Last but not least, I want to talk about Keqing and a few other heroes who have this kind of ability, where she basically throws her dagger or her stiletto, I'm not exactly sure what she's throwing, and then can teleport to it by pressing the same button again. This is not the most amazing traveling ability, but in certain situations, it can be incredibly useful when doing certain climbs, certain puzzles, certain dungeons, and also just to recuperate stamina at times when you need to find a platform. And it is something that sometimes will be very useful to get you out of some very tricky situations, puzzles, and some exploration places where you don't exactly know how to reach. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Now, of course, there are other characters that have certain abilities that will allow them to go faster in certain situations, and they are all obviously very decent, and there is no problem having them or not having them. This is simply to illustrate some of the best ones and show exactly what they do so that you know which one you would be interested in getting for your own team. In my opinion, the Wanderer and Yelan are the best two characters that you could be looking for specifically just for their traveling abilities, but they are also two of the best and very meta characters in the current meta of the game, so they perform very well in their role and they belong on any team, on top of adding these extremely good benefits of travel speed. It is important to note that when you are doing different puzzles in different zones, you will also need to construct your team accordingly. So for example, if you are doing exploration in the zone of Sumeru, you will want a character that has a dendro element because a lot of the puzzles require it. If you are doing content in Inazuma, you will most likely want someone with electricity, as it will be needed for a lot of the puzzles. Same goes for Leeway, where you will want a Geo character, and there is no best or worst team. It is simply about how you enjoy playing the game and how you like to go fast from one point to the other if you are doing a lot of exploration. Also, having a Claymore or Geo character is always going to be extremely useful when you're mining anything in the game. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Let me know which one is your traveling team and your favorite character to use for traveling, and why is it the Wanderer, in the comments below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.